In 2077, actor Cooper Howard and his daughter are caught in the middle of a nuclear attack against Los Angeles. 219 years later, Vault 33 dweller Lucy McLean volunteers for an arranged marriage with a dweller from Vault 32, which is connected to Vaults 33 and 31. After the wedding, the Vault 32 visitors are revealed to be raiders led by Lee Moldaver. Lucy's father and overseer of Vault 33, Hank McLean, is forced to leave with them. In defiance of Vault regulations, Lucy decides to go to the surface by herself to search for her father. Meanwhile, Brotherhood of Steel aspirant Maximus is promoted to the rank of Squire and joins Knight Titus in hunting for a member of the Enclave. Elsewhere, several bounty hunters locate Cooper, who has been transformed by radiation into a ghoul, and attempt to recruit him to find the same Enclave member. Instead, the ghoul kills them all and pursues the bounty alone. In an Enclave facility, Dr. Wilzig develops a mysterious blue device before injecting it into his neck. He flees the facility with his experimental dog, CX-404. In the wasteland, Lucy encounters Wilzig, who urges her to return to Vault 33. Maximus and Titus begin their search and are attacked by a mutant bear. Titus is wounded, but his mistreatment of Maximus prompts the Squire to let him bleed out before taking the Knight's power armor for himself. Lucy reunites with Wilzig in Philly, where he attempts to arrange safe passage to Moldaver. Seeking the bounty, the ghoul attacks them but is distracted by Maximus, allowing Lucy to escape with Wilzig. A wounded CX-404 is left behind, but the ghoul heals the dog and uses her to track Wilzig. Severely wounded, Wilzig ingests cyanide as he believes he will slow Lucy down, instructing her to deliver his head to Moldaver in exchange for Hank. Maximus assumes Titus's identity, and the Brotherhood sends a new squire, Thaddeus, believing Maximus dead. Lucy is attacked by a mutated gulper which swallows Wilzig's head. The ghoul arrives with CX-404 and uses Lucy as bait to lure out the gulper, but the chemicals which maintain his health are destroyed in the attempt. Leaving CX-404 behind, the ghoul departs with Lucy as his prisoner. Maximus and Thaddeus track the head to the same location and defeat the gulper, recovering the head and taking custody of CX-404. Back in Vault 33, Norm McLean, Lucy's younger brother, asks the council to execute several captured raiders for murder, but he is denied. In a flashback to 2077, Cooper becomes a celebrity spokesman for Vault Tech at the encouragement of his wife, a top company executive. In Vault 33, Norm becomes suspicious after an exchange with a captive raider. He and Chet explore Vault 32, discovering that its residents died 2 years prior as a consequence of infighting, and that someone used Norm's dead mother Rose's Pip-Boy to let the raiders in. The ghoul encounters his friend Roger, a ghoul on the brink of going feral. He kills Roger and cannibalizes him in front of Lucy. The ghoul takes Lucy to an abandoned supermarket. He trades her to a gang of organ harvesters for replacement chemicals, but collapses before the trade is complete. About to be cut open, Lucy fights back and frees the captive ghouls held by the harvesters. The feral ghouls attack her and the gang, and Lucy is forced to kill for the first time. She leaves, but not before giving the ghoul the chemicals he needs. Maximus confesses his true identity to Thaddeus. Disgusted, Thaddeus disables Maximus's power armor and leaves with Wilzig's head and CX-404. Lucy finds Maximus and they agree to work together to retrieve the head. The pair stumble upon the ruins of Shady Sands, a once thriving post-war city that was the capital of the prosperous New California Republic. Maximus is injured by a cannibalistic fiend, and while searching for medical supplies in an abandoned Vault Tech building, the two accidentally fall into Vault 4. Back in Vault 33, Council President Betty Pearson is elected as overseer by a 98% majority. Norm hacks Vault 32's central computer and finds that every overseer of Vaults 32 and 33 originally came from Vault 31, including his father Hank. Betty orders that Vault 32 be repopulated by 33 once cleared of the deceased dwellers. Lucy and Maximus are greeted by Birdie, a Shady Sands survivor, and Ben, the Vault 4 overseer. They explain that Vault 4 has opened itself to the surface, taking in many refugees from Shady Sands and the surrounding area. While Maximus slowly acclimates to the vault, Lucy is horrified over the the refugees' eccentric rituals and worship of Moldaver as the Flame Mother. The ghoul wakes up to find an armed posse has arrested him for past crimes. He stalls for time to regain strength and then easily overpowers and kills them. Convinced that Vault 4 is hiding something, Lucy ventures to the forbidden level 12. She uncovers human experiments before getting caught, but it is explained to her that Vault 4 citizens fought back against these scientists and now live in peace. In a flashback, Cooper becomes conflicted over the secrecy of Barb's association with Vault-Tec. He is invited to a covert meeting to discuss the conspiracy behind Vault-Tec, hosted by a younger Moldaver. Residents of Vault 4 gather as Lucy is prepped for expulsion from the vault. Maximus leaves with her after a brief conflict with the vault residents. Lucy invites Maximus to live with her in Vault 33. Thaddeus abandons CX-404 and makes contact with the Brotherhood. Lucy and Maximus eventually catch up with Thaddeus. After learning that he is turning into a ghoul, for which the Brotherhood would put him to death, Thaddeus hands over the head of Wilzig. Lucy continues her journey alone, while Maximus stays behind to distract the Brotherhood. Norm secretly breaks into Vault 31. Meanwhile, the ghoul, having determined Moldaver's location, reunites with CX-404, renaming her Dogmeat. In a flashback to 2077, a younger Moldaver, then named Miss Williams, reveals that the war profiteering conglomerate behind Vault-Tec shelved her cold fusion research despite its potential to provide unlimited energy and prevent war with China over dwindling oil resources. She persuades Howard that he cannot trust his wife and should record all her conversations with the company board. Lucy and Norm independently learn the truth of the war. In a flashback, Cooper eavesdrops on Barb and her colleague Bud Askins, to his horror learning they are explicitly managing Vault-Tec's plans to start a nuclear war to eliminate its competitors. Cooper also meets young Betty Pearson and Hank McClane. In the present, Norm discovers Vault 31 contains the cryogenically stored junior executives of Vault-Tec, overseen by the cyborg brain on wheels of Bud, who traps Norm in Vault 31. Lucy turns the head over to Moldaver, who reveals that Rose had fled Vault 33 with her children years earlier. Hank tracked her down and was responsible for the nuclear bombing of Shady Sands, turning Rose into a feral ghoul. Maximus is forgiven by the Brotherhood and joins the battle against Moldaver's forces. Lucy convinces Hank to give Moldaver the code activating her cold fusion reactor. Maximus frees Lucy's father but attacks him after learning Hank's role in Shady Sands' destruction. Lucy disowns Hank for his actions after he attacks Maximus. The ghoul, believing his family might still be alive, invites Lucy to travel with him and Dogmeat to find Vault-Tec's leaders. Lucy kills the feral Rose and takes the ghoul up on his offer. Moldaver activates the fusion reactor, powering Los Angeles just before she dies from her wounds. The Brotherhood forces assume that Maximus is responsible for Moldaver's death and acclaim him as Knight Maximus. Hank flees to the remains of New Vegas.